Mr. Spears, it's only right that the Armani suit, it was included on Sunday as the Lakers unveiled Pat Riley's statue outside Crypto.com Arena before the game. The Showtime offense was in attendance for the ceremony, but the current Lakers, maybe they could have used a little bit more of that on the floor. Of course, ahead of the game, LeBron James and Pat Riley embraced, share a moment. The ball there from Jared Vanderbilt, and then he finds Vucevic for the easy layup. A nice play there.
Malik, have you ever seen the Celtics not play hard this season? They
play incredibly hard every single night, and they forced 7 of the 8 Lakers turnovers in the first half. And then there's Peyton Pritchard.
Ooh-wee.
It's only right that Jamal crossover was on the call for this crossover. Was it a push-off or was it
I mean, it was, but, you know,
when you make the bucket. Celtics up 1. Jaylen Brown kicks it back out. Pritchard cleans it up.
I've been watching this kid do this since he was 14 years old, playing against the Hoop Summit team in Portland. Still doing the same thing, destroying folks.
And it kept going. Third quarter, Lakers down. Luka Doncic threads the needle to LeBron James, finishes with the slam. LeBron, he became the first player in NBA history to reach 43,000 career points with that bucket, Mr. Spears. Pretty incredible.
That ain't getting past.
It didn't get better for the Lakers here. Jaylen Brown knocking down the 3, and then under 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, the Celtics up big. Peyton Pritchard, just insane dribble package before draining the 3. Pritchard, 30 points off the bench. The Celtics win 111-89. And if you felt a little like Beyonce, like you were having deja vu watching the Celtics defense on Luka, you were right. It was very similar to their game plan from the 2024 NBA Finals. That constant full-court pressure, it forced the Lakers to have other players initiate their offense. And as you can see, it really kept the ball out of Luka's hands here. So Kendrick Perkins joining us as well as Brian Windhorst. So that was not the only way, that's not the way that Luka typically wants to play here. How, Brian, did you see Boston control the game?
Well, look, the good news for the Lakers is that they finally have their big 3 healthy. LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. This is what they've been envisioning for over a year now. The bad news is that group has to be awesome on offense because they're not going to be able to be awesome on defense most of the time. And that's what Boston did in this game. Boston targeted them on the perimeter. They were able to generate a ton of open shots out of isolation and putting those guys into pick and roll. And the Lakers had a bad offensive game. It was one of the worst offensive games, frankly, they've had in several years. And that's the thing. They are not a complete team. They are going like a sports car. Everything has got to be in tune for them to perform. And defensively, they were not in tune enough to make up for their bad offense.
They ready to get their feet hot, but last night, the Celtics got their feet hot with the Los Angeles Lakers. And it started with their defense. And look, Joe Mazzulla, Jaylen Brown with the active hands getting out transition. Doesn't this look familiar? The 2024 NBA Finals. Jaylen Brown, he won Finals MVP because of the defense and the full court pressure that he applied.
Coming back. And the fact that you asked me, Mark, how often do we not see the Celtics play hard? It seems like every single night they are bringing it and playing incredibly tough for Joe Mazzulla.
I talked to Joe Mazzulla on the 7th of November, and at that time, the Celtics were 9-8.
Yeah.
No Tatum, obviously. No Porzingis. No Horford.
Struggling.
Seemed like no hope. And he's eating his grain bowl, not even tripping. He was like, look, this team is still talented. If we give the effort that we could give to win on a daily basis, Jaylen Brown is that star. And I kind of just looked at him like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, the competitive guys, like, what, we just have to have it easy? And since then, they've been 28-11. Joe Mazzulla's doing an amazing job. Jaylen Brown's doing a great job leading this team. Everybody knows their role. As you see, they play hard every night. And then Tatum's about to come back with Vucevic. It's a scary Celtics team right now.
It is. And for the Lakers on their side of all of this, Brian, after the game, Luka Doncic said he still thinks that this big 3 has big potential, is what he said. But at this point in the season, why is it still big potential and not us seeing the fruits of what that potential can be?
Well, they're just not equipped to maximize Luka Doncic. And this is not meant to be an insult. This was a shock maneuver that hit the Lakers a year ago. And over the offseason, they really sort of leaned into the summer of 2026. And when you have Luka Doncic, and to a lesser extent Austin Reeves, you've got to have supporting wing defense and you've got to have a basket defender. And they just don't got it, you know? I mean, they sometimes are able to do it. J.J. Redick has been mixing in more zone. He's been playing sort of different lineups. But, like, if you look at the way Nimi Keita plays for the Celtics, you look at the way DeAndre Ayton plays for the Lakers, it would be much better if the Lakers had Nimi Keita, because the way he defends, they just they need a transaction cycle to build around Luka and to a lesser extent to build around Reeves. And that is what they intended to do. That is really what they're not going to publicly announce. They're not going to put this on a statue outside next to Pat Riley, is that this is a holding season. They're going to try to make the most of it. And if they get the right matchup in the playoffs and they get health on their side, they could make a run. But it's going to take things like that to happen, because straight up, they're going to have disadvantages against great teams like Boston.
Well, it's too late, Wendy. The word is out around the NBA. They have scouts at the game right now, and it's not because they're scouting other players or trying to make trades. It's people are getting ready for the postseason. And so now all of a sudden the word is out that, hey, if you want to beat the Lakers, involve Luka and Austin Reeves and make them have to play defense, one-on-one defense. One, they feel like they can't. Two, it takes a lot of energy away from them, so they don't have that much energy offensively. So until they figure it out, the two guys that are leading the charge that they want to change their mindset and decide to slide those puppies, the Lakers are going to be heading home early this season because they don't have the personnel around them to support them where they lack it.
Well, it feels like sort of the middle of the West, though, outside of those top 1, 2, maybe 3 spots are a little bit jumbled. Case in point, let's head north. That's where Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, they were visiting the Golden State Warriors. No Steph, but also no Kristaps Porzingis, who was out with illness, and then a super late scratch moments before tip-off, no Draymond Green. He was dealing with a lower back issue. But just because no Steph Curry doesn't mean he wasn't involved in the action. Off this silly, uncharacteristic turnover here from Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, shooters, always ready to shoot.
Take it.
He told me that he'd gotten a delay of game before, so he didn't want to. Jamal Murray off on this one. Nikola Jokic is able to get the nice little putback there, grabs a rebound. Jokic right here, pushes the pace, gives it up to Christian Brown, who had a huge first quarter, was quiet until this third quarter, and all of a sudden, after a big lead by Golden State, here come the Denver Nuggets. And this is when you think, uh-oh, Golden State shorthanded. This is when stars show out. Nikola Jokic, nice move to end the third quarter here. Going ahead to the fourth, midway through, the game is tied at 109. You wonder who's going to be the guy, who are you going to call? Brandon Bajemski, apparently. He had 15 of his 18 points in the final frame. You think he's going to cool off? Nope. Drives, nice little floater. Guess who's loving it? Steph Curry. That one had some serious hang time. And then under 3 minutes left, gotta go here. Brandon Bajemski knocks down the triple. The Warriors go on to win 128-117. Nikola Jokic, what went wrong in clutch time again?
Is there anything that you guys feel like you need to change about your approach in some of these late game situations where things haven't gone well? Or are you not concerned by it?
I mean, I'm definitely a good question because we are losing the games, you know. We are losing the games and we are not creating open looks, you know. So that's something that we need to change, and hopefully we need to get better. I don't know what it is, but we need to figure it out.
All right, so the Nuggets, they've hit a little speed bump this month. They've dropped 6 of their 9 games, and they've allowed 120 points a night this month. Denver entered the month a half game behind San Antonio for second in the West. Now they are 5 games back from San Antonio. And health is a part of this.
Yeah.
By Jokic's standards, he had 35, 20, and 12, right? Another triple-double. But he's hurting, Mark. What's going on?
Yeah, he's not the type of guy that's going to tell you, and by those gouty numbers, you don't even think anything's wrong with him. But since the Clippers game on February 19th, he's really been hampered by a right wrist shooting hand injury.
Yeah.
And you could look at his numbers and say, what are you talking about? Well, the turnovers are high. He's had 13 turnovers in the last 3 games. Certainly not quite himself. But if he misses a couple more games, then he's not going to be available for the awards.
Right.
They got other injuries like Aaron Gordon, who they hope to have back this weekend. Peyton Watson, maybe next month. So I think he's also putting the pressure on himself to be in a Nuggets uniform, keep them afloat, and especially after missing as many games as he did. And so, yeah, I think he's going to fight through this injury and just keep playing.
Well, you guys, he talked about not generating shots, and certainly I'm never going to be as intelligent about basketball as Jokic is. But when I look at Denver, I don't look at offense. The 128 they gave up is more. I'm more concerned about that than the 117 that they scored. And they just haven't been the same team offensively, Malika, since Aaron Gordon got hurt. Before he started going through these hamstring injuries, the reason a lot of people believed that Denver could maybe pull off an upset of the Thunder this year is because of how good they were defensively. When Aaron Gordon's been out there this year defensively, they've been a top 5 defensive team. When he's not been out there defensively, which unfortunately has been a majority of the season because of his hamstring issues, they've been a bottom 5 defensive team. And especially with now Peyton Watson also sidelined, that's 2 key defensive players, and they just can't get stops. I mean, I'm watching this game yesterday. You were there on the sideline. Jokic was delivering. He was getting assists. They were hitting shots, but they could not get stops at the other end. And that, to me, is where the rubber meets the road for this team.
I agree, Wendy. And look, the wing position, in my opinion, is the most important position in the league when you're trying to win a championship. And not only are they missing Aaron Gordon, they're missing Peyton Watson. We still haven't seen Cam Johnson. You need those 3-and-D guys, that athleticism in the wing, at the wing position, to defend, especially in the Western Conference when we're talking about SGA. When you talk about Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, the list goes on. So, again, it's never the offense when it comes to the Denver Nuggets, but the defensive side of things, they definitely need to tighten up.
Yeah, I talked to David Adelman before yesterday's game, and he mentioned that he would like to see 15 games with the roster that they had from opening night. Remember that roster? They've only played 10 games together, but they've gone 8-2. He feels very good about that team, but they're running out of time to be able to put those 15 games together. So for Denver, that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to being healthy. But it was a packed weekend. We had a lot of games, so we thought we would narrow it down. Big 3, our top 3 plays of the weekend. Starting with Naz Reid at number 3. I love the Prince uniforms, by the way. On the breakaway.
Behind the back. Wait.
Throwing it down on Daniel Gafford, by the way. Big poster there.
Hey, big fella.
From Naz Reid. So that's number 3. Coming in at number 2, Tyrese Maxey.
Put this one on the poster. I'm sorry, Ant-Man.
Max taking it to the max with a steal.
I know what you did right there.
And then a dunk on Anthony Edwards.
Look at his boy stare down with him, though. Did we get that part in there? Look at his boy staring with him.
And the left hand, as Brian pointed out.
Did.
And then our number 1 play.
That's what you call catch him slipping.
Poster worthy. It had to be Jalen Green, right? And hits it at the buzzer. Check out the span angle.
Wow. Good to see him back.
Good to see him back. He was 5 for 25 from the field, heading into the final possession. A great ending for the Suns, but some unfortunate news also out of that game. Our Shams Charania reporting that Dillon Brooks has a broken left hand. It's going to keep him out for 4 to 6 weeks here. The Suns are currently 7th in the West, and Brooks is the 2nd leading scorer. He's averaging a career-high 21 points a game. So the Suns are certainly going to miss Brooks on the floor for this crucial stretch of the season. Still to come on our show, we've heard the stars tease. We're going to do the dunk contest. But when Victor speaks, Mr. Spears,
yes, ma'am,
we listen. Hear from Wemby and what he had to say on future. What does it mean for the New York Knicks if Karl Anthony Towns has to be their best player? And from a role player to a true difference maker, Orlando Magic guard Anthony Black has been attacking the rim all season. But what might he show us in studio? It's a good thing he's going to join us.